Welcome to this L&R training video, Cipher Instructions for the Reset Team Leader. This video will instruct you on how to use the Cipher handheld to report reset information, report reset progress, order missing fixtures and parts, and make Cipher transmissions. Let's start by learning a bit about the Cipher Key Pad. The on-off key is in the lower right-hand corner. The blue keys on either side of the cipher are enter keys. The large yellow button is the scan key. Along the right side of the cipher is the BS or backspace key. Pressing this key moves the cursor back one space and erases the previously entered digit. Under the BS key is the dot key, used for special functions. Along the left side of the cipher is the ESC or escape key. Pressing this key backs the cipher up one screen. Under the escape key is the dash key, used for special functions. The majority of the keypad contains keys with a number and letters. The cipher allows you to key in both numeric and alpha or letter characters. One simply has to place the cipher in the correct mode. You can alternate between the numeric and alpha modes using the alpha key in the lower left corner of the cipher. The cipher is usually in the numeric mode by default. To place in the alpha mode, press the alpha key once. A capital A appears on the right side of the cipher screen, and you can enter letters from the keypad. To return to the numeric mode, press the alpha key 3 times. You know you're in the numeric mode when the capital A is gone and nothing appears on the right side of the screen. At that point, you can enter numbers from the keypad.
Now, on to the resets. First, the paperwork. 2 forms are required to perform a scheduled reset: the L&R reset job and completion form, and the reset status and issues scan sheet. These will have been posted on the iNet for the reset leader to print out. Here's an explanation for each. First, there's a separate reset job and completion form for every store with 1 or more scheduled resets. The account number and store number are found in the upper left-hand corner of the form. Each reset form identifies all vendors or sections in that store, regardless of whether the section is being reset. If the section has a scheduled reset, it'll show a reset number and often a scannable reset barcode for that reset. The reset leader is responsible for completing the reset form. As resets are completed, the leader should enter the date completed, actual hours to complete the reset by all reset workers combined, the actual footage and actual height of the set in the store. The bottom section of the reset form should also be filled out, including a signature from a member of that store's management. When all resets in that store have been completed and the paperwork properly filled out, fax in the form to the number on the bottom of the form. Much of the information you write in on the form will also be keyed in your cipher. More on that in a minute. The other sheet I spoke of earlier is the reset status and issues form. You'll use this to report through your cipher the status of each reset as of the end of that workday, for instance finished or not started, and the issues that prevented the reset from being completed. Now to the cipher. Throughout this explanation, understand that you are using the same Cipher program to report your work that L&R service reps use in their daily activities. Thus, some of your entries might seem a bit odd and irrelevant, but they are necessary. Your Cipher activity for a reset begins by identifying the store.
From the main menu of the cipher, select number 1, Travel. You're then prompted to key in the customer ID or account number and the ship to or store number.
Remember that information can be found on the appropriate reset completion form in the upper left-hand corner. The digits to the left of the dash are the customer ID or account number. The digits to the right of the dash or the ship to or store number. Remember also to put your cipher in the proper mode for numeric or letter entries, as explained earlier in this video.
So key in the customer ID or account number. Press enter. Key in the ship to or store number. Press enter. Key in the actual or dummy beginning odometer reading for your vehicle. This is one of the times it's more relevant to L&R service reps. Enter through the date and time till you're back to the main menu. You've completed step 1 of the 4 steps your cipher must go through each time you identify a destination store. For step 2, return to travel and key in the actual or dummy ending odometer reading. Press enter. Press enter through date and time till you're back to the main menu. You've completed step 2 of the 4-step cycle. Then from the main menu, select number 2, enter leave. Enter through the date and time till you're back to the main menu. That completes step number 3 of the 4-step cycle. We'll complete the 4th step in the 4-step cycle later.
Now it's time to report in the cipher all the reset activity in the identified store for that day.
And from the main menu, select number 5, Reset Work. You'll be on the Reset menu. There you'll have 2 options. Select number 1, Data Entry, to key in information on the reset. Select number 2, Review Edit, if you wanted to look back on or change reset information you had already keyed in but had not yet transmitted. Here we'll select number 1, Data Entry. You'll be on the Reset Status screen. Here you manually key in or scan in the appropriate barcode for that reset number, as found on the aforementioned Reset Job and Completion form. That reset number will then appear at the top of the next screen, followed by the account number or customer ID, the store number or ship to, and the current day's date. Press enter through those areas till you're down on rep hours. As reset leader, leave rep hours blank. In team hours, key in the total time spent by all members of the reset crew on that reset. Just be sure as you enter time, key in quarter hours, not minutes. As an example, 2.5 hours would be 250. Take special note of the default decimal point. Press enter. You'll be on the footage prompt. Key in the set's footage, in this case 4 feet. Again, beware of the decimal point. Press enter. Key in the height. Press enter. You'll move to the Reset Issues screen. On this screen, you'll report the current status of the reset and any issues remaining.
And this is where you first use your Reset Status and Issues scan sheet. The status possibilities are listed in the middle of the sheet and explained to the far right. You'd enter manually or scan the appropriate status for the reset. If you key in manually, be sure to enter exactly as the right-hand column shows and in capital letters. Keying in finished completes the job. All is completed. If finished XX, not started or revisit is keyed in, then the next entry by the reset leader would be the issues that prevented the reset from being completed. Whereas there would only be one status, there could be multiple issues. A few examples are missing manufacturer supplied fixtures or store under remodel. So now back to the Cipher and the Reset Issues screen, where in this example I've keyed or scanned in Revisit for the status of the reset, and I've keyed or scanned in the issue requiring a revisit, Missing Manufacturer Supplied Fixtures, or MFG-FIX. In cases where there are multiple issues, list them all. Whether you have issues to report or not, you will also be using the issues prompt to report the name of the appropriate manager from the store. To do so, from the bottom of page 1 of the Status and Issues scan sheet, key or scan in Manager Sign-Off.
Press Enter. Then at the next blank Issues prompt, key in the manager's first name. Press Enter. At the next blank Issues prompt, key in the manager's last name. Press Enter. After keying in all issues and your cursor is on a blank Issues prompt, press Enter.
That will take you to the Reset Fixture screen. If this is a cosmetics reset and you have missing or damaged fixtures, parts, or graphics, you can order them through the Cipher. For that you need the Fixture Parts Library, a form that lists all the fixtures, parts, and graphics for every cosmetics brand and their accompanying reorder number. The form can be found on the iNet in the Reset Central group. It's a long form with a lot of information. Obviously, if you're doing a lot of resets, you might want to print out the parts of the library that contain the brands you're resetting. Otherwise, if you have an order to place, you'll need to bring it up on your computer when you get home. This is a critical part of the reset effort. Missing and damaged fixtures, parts, and graphics should be ordered as needed. It's not always easy to find the item on the long form, but it is an important part of the reset effort. Once you find the item, you order by keying into the Cipher the reorder number found in the far left column. Do not order by the manufacturer part number.
Here I've keyed in the reorder number for a missing Almay fixture. Press Enter. It allows me to change the quantity or keep it as 1. I'll keep it as 1. Press Enter. Then I would continue entering reorder numbers for additional fixtures or graphics or parts until I've completed them all. Then I press Escape. Finish with Reset. Press Yes. And I'm back at the main menu.
Those ordered parts will eventually arrive at the L&R warehouse, where they'll be shipped out to the store with the store's service reps' next regular order. You would need to check with the reset coordinator as to whether you should be scheduled to return to the store to place the missing items.
You would repeat that process for every reset to report for that store by returning to reset work. Once you've reported all the necessary reset information for that store, from the main menu, select number 2, Enter Leave. Press Enter through the date and time till you return to the main menu. At that point, you've completed the 4th and final step of the 4-step cycle I spoke of earlier. You would now be able to start a new cycle if you had reset information for another store, or you could proceed to transmit the information in your Cipher.
You'll find transmission directions and additional reset information in part 2 of this video. I mentioned earlier that oftentimes a reset team does not complete a reset on the initial visit, and indicates that by keying in a status such as Revisit or Started in Progress. If that reset is completed on a later date by one or more members of the reset team leader would update the system by returning to that same reset number and repeating all the steps discussed previously in this video. On this return visit in the Cipher to the reset leader would key in the additional time spent on the reset in team hours and key in the new status. now hopefully finished. They would also re-enter any issues, including the name of a member of store management. There is one caveat to this. To return to a reset that was previously keyed into the cipher and transmitted, one must erase the previous information from the cipher. Erasing old reset information is covered in part 2 of this video. And that concludes part 1 of this L&R training video, Cipher Instructions for the Reset Team Leader.